an ancient mansion stood shrouded in mist and silence. Its walls held secrets, and the air was thick with a chilling sense of unease. A grieving family arrived, each member burdened by sorrow and unresolved guilt. As they stepped inside, the floorboards groaned beneath their feet, echoing their unease. At night, ghostly whispers drifted through the halls. Candlelight flickered, casting shifting shadows that seemed to move with a life of their own. One by one, the family uncovered cryptic messages, words scrawled on fogged mirrors and whispers that called them by name. A cold, invisible hand brushed past a child's shoulder, sending shivers down their spine. The family realized they were not alone. Driven by terror, the family confronted one another. Old wounds reopened, and secrets spilled into the flickering candlelight. A spectral figure emerged, its presence both menacing and sorrowful. It beckoned them to face the truth they had long buried. With trembling voices, a painful confession was made. The mansion's darkness seemed to lift, and the oppressive air grew lighter. As sunlight broke through the windows, the family embraced, tears of relief streaming down their faces. The haunted mansion finally released its hold. At 2:17 a.m., Maya's phone buzzed. "Unknown number. Are you awake?" She frowned. No one ever texted her this late. She typed back, "Maya, who is this?" The reply came instantly. "Unknown number. You don't remember me yet." Her bedroom was dark except for the soft glow of the phone. Rain tapped against the window. Maya felt a small, irrational chill crawl up her spine. Wrong number. She placed the phone face down and closed her eyes. It buzzed again. "You used to sit next to me." Her heart thudded. She turned the phone over with shaking hands. "Maya, sit next to you where?" 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Then, unknown number. "In the hospital." Maya sat up. She had been in a hospital once after the accident. Weeks of her memory were gone, doctors said. Trauma did that sometimes. "This isn't funny." Another buzz. "Unknown number. You promised you wouldn't forget." Her breathing grew shallow. She tried calling the number. "This number is not in service." The lights flickered. Her phone vibrated again. "Look at the chair." Slowly, Maya turned her head. The chair in the corner of her room, where she always tossed her clothes, was empty. Then the phone buzzed. Unknown number. Behind it. The smell hit her first. Sterile, metallic, like antiseptic and blood. A reflection appeared on her dark window, not hers. A figure stood behind the chair, face wrapped in gauze, eyes sunken and wet. Her phone buzzed one final time. Unknown number. You were supposed to pull the plug. The figure took a step forward, and Maya finally remembered why she had survived the accident alone. The mansion loomed at the edge of the woods, its windows dark and empty, as if watching the grieving family approach. They had come seeking a fresh start, but the air felt thick with secrets. Inside, the grand foyer greeted them with silence and dust. Each step echoed, a reminder that the house had been waiting, patient and hungry for new memories. Boxes were unpacked, but no one spoke of the past. Shadows clung to corners, and the house seemed to listen, as if waiting for someone to break the silence. That night, whispers drifted through the halls. Lights flickered as if unseen hands played with the wires, and each family member woke from uneasy dreams. The youngest, Lily, found herself drawn to a cracked mirror. In its reflection, a shadow lingered behind her, vanishing when she turned. Their mother, Emily, noticed strange messages scratched into the wallpaper, words that seemed to shift when she blinked, spelling out names and dates she dared not remember. Tom, the father, wandered the study, haunted by old photographs and the soft, accusing whispers that seemed to know his every secret. At dinner, tension thickened the air. Forks scraped plates, but no one spoke of the strange happenings. The house seemed to grow colder with every unspoken word. That night, shadows moved along the staircase, twisting into shapes that seemed almost human. The family locked their doors, but the house offered no safety. Lily hid beneath her bed, clutching a faded stuffed rabbit. Cold air crept across her skin, and a voice whispered her name from the darkness. Emily climbed to the attic, her flashlight beams slicing through dust. She found a trunk filled with letters, each one addressed to people who had vanished from memory. Tom sat in the kitchen, hands trembling, as he read a letter he didn't remember writing. The words blurred, but a single phrase burned into his mind. You cannot hide forever. Each family member faced their own ghosts. Apparitions whispered secrets only they could hear. dredging up memories they had tried to bury. It was Lily who broke first, sobbing as she confessed a secret she had carried since the accident. The house seemed to sigh, its walls relaxing with her words. Emily and Tom held Lily close, their own tears falling freely. The oppressive weight in the air began to lift, and the house grew warmer. Morning came, and for the first time, sunlight pierced the gloom. The family gathered in the living room, feeling the mansion's grip loosen at last. Outside, the mansion looked almost peaceful, its windows reflecting the morning light. The family knew the house would never forget, but its hunger had been sated, for now. The house stood at the end of Blackwood Lane, like it had been waiting. Its paint was the colour of old bone, peeling in long, brittle strips. The windows were tall and narrow, giving the impression of watchful eyes. No birds perched on the roof. No insects hummed near the porch light. Even the wind seemed to avoid it. Evelyn Carter noticed this immediately, though she said nothing. After the accident, silence had become her habit. Behind her, Mark wrestled with the trunk of the car, while their daughter Lily stood stiffly beside him, clutching her backpack as though it might disappear if she loosened her grip. The girl's eyes never left the house. "Are you sure this is the place?" Lily asked. Mark forced a smile. "It's perfect, quiet, cheap, a fresh start. A fresh start." The words sounded hollow even to him. The key turned with a reluctant groan, as if the lock itself disapproved. The door opened into a long hallway, dim despite the midday sun outside. The air inside was colder than it should have been, heavy with the faint smell of dust and something sour beneath it. The house sighed. Evelyn froze. "Did you hear that?" she whispered. Mark shook his head. Old houses make noises, but the sound hadn't been wood settling or pipes rattling. It had been closer to a breath. That first night, Lily dreamed of walls whispering her name. She woke with a scream, heart racing, the darkness pressing in from every corner. Her room was unfamiliar. Tall ceiling, unfamiliar shadows, but something else felt wrong. The closet door was open. She was sure she had closed it. As she stared, the darkness inside the closet seemed deeper than the rest of the room, thick and layered, like fog that refused to move. A faint sound drifted out, soft, rhythmic. Breathing. Lily squeezed her eyes shut and counted to 10. When she opened them again, the closet door was closed. Still, she did not sleep for the rest of the night. Evelyn found the first message the next morning. It was written in dust on the hallway mirror, neat and deliberate. "Why did you let him go?" Her reflection stared back at her, pale and hollow-eyed. Her knees buckled, and she gripped the sink to keep from falling. Mark found her minutes later, scrubbing furiously at the glass. "Evelyn, what's wrong?" She turned to him, eyes wide with terror. "The house knows." "Knows what?" She didn't answer. The message vanished when Mark looked at the mirror, leaving nothing but smudges and streaks. He chalked it up to stress, to grief. He had learned to do that with Evelyn's silences. What he didn't tell her was that he too had begun hearing things. At night, when the house settled, he heard footsteps pacing above him, slow, deliberate, heavy with intent, always stopping directly over his bedroom, always listening. The basement door opened on its own the third day. Mark found it ajar when he returned from unpacking boxes in the garage. Cold air spilled out, carrying a damp, metallic smell. "I didn't go down there," Lily said quickly when he asked. Evelyn said nothing. She was staring at the doorway as though it was staring back. The basement was unfinished, its walls raw stone slick with moisture. A single bulb flickered weakly overhead. At the far end of the room stood something new, a door. It hadn't been there during the inspection. Mark was sure of it. The door was old, its surface scarred with deep scratches that looked less like damage and more like desperate claw marks. The tarnished handle sat slightly crooked, as though it had been twisted too many times. Written across the wood, etched deeply and angrily, was a single word, confess. Evelyn staggered back. Lily began to cry. That night, the house stopped pretending. The walls whispered constantly now, not words but tones, murmurs thick with accusation. Regret seeped from the floorboards, crawled along the ceiling. Lily screamed again, louder this time. Mark burst into her room to find her pointing at the wall above her bed. The wallpaper bubbled outward, stretching unnaturally, forming the faint outline of a face pressing from the other side. Its mouth moved. Evelyn watched from the doorway, tears streaming down her face. She knew that face. She had seen it before. In the hospital, they tried to leave the next morning. The car wouldn't start. Phones showed no signal, no matter how far they walked down the road. Blackwood Lane stretched endlessly in both directions, looping back on itself no matter which way they turned. By afternoon, the house felt smaller. The hallway narrowed, doorways leaned inward. The air grew heavier with each passing hour. The basement door creaked open. The house was done waiting. The door at the bottom of the basement stairs now stood wide open, revealing a room that should not have fit within the house's dimensions. The space beyond was too large, too deep, its walls vanishing into darkness. The smell was unmistakable, hospital antiseptic. Blood. Mark felt a crushing weight of dread settle into his chest. "This is insane," he muttered. "We're imagining this." But the room answered him. Lights flickered on, revealing a hospital ward frozen in time. A single bed sat in the center, sheets stained dark. Machines stood silent, their screens cracked, and in the bed lay a boy of about 8 years old, motionless. Lily let out a broken sob. "That's him." Evelyn stepped forward, legs trembling. The boy's face was pale, eyes closed, features eerily familiar. Her son, the one who hadn't survived the accident. Mark stared, his world collapsing. "No, we stayed. We stayed until you did," the house whispered. The machines flickered to life. The boy's eyes opened. The truth poured out of Evelyn like poison. She confessed how she had been alone with her son when the doctor explained the injuries, how he might survive, but not without severe damage, how he would never be the same, how the decision had been hers, how she had unplugged the machine while her husband was gone, unable to watch her child live a life of suffering. Mark sank to his knees, horror and betrayal twisting inside him. "I would have stayed," he whispered. "I would have helped." "You already left once," the house said gently. "You always leave." The walls began to close in. Lily screamed as the floor beneath her feet turned slick red. "I didn't know," she cried. "I didn't know." The house paused, then it listened. The boy in the bed smiled faintly. The machines went silent. The walls retreated. The door at the top of the basement stairs creaked open, sunlight spilling in like forgiveness that came too late. The house had been fed. Blackwood Lane was empty by morning. The house stood quiet again, its windows dark and satisfied, waiting, because guilt, once buried, always finds a place to live. If you want, I can. Make it even darker, add a twist ending, rewrite it with ghosts, demons, or psychological-only horror. Adapt it into a script or short film format. Just tell me. Below is a scene-by-scene breakdown designed specifically for video clips based on the horror story. Each scene includes visuals, action, sound, and mood, so it's easy to translate into shots while editing or filming. An ancient mansion stands alone at the end of a deserted road, its decaying walls looming beneath an overcast sky. Wind howls through dead trees, setting an uneasy, foreboding mood as darkness creeps in. The door creaks open, echoing unnaturally through the darkness. Dust drifts in the faint light, and a long, narrow hallway stretches ahead, feeling endless. Every step forward is heavy with suspense, curiosity, and a growing sense of dread. Lily lies awake in bed as shadows stretch along the walls. The closet door slowly opens by itself, filling the room with fear and vulnerability. A whispered voice calls Lily's name from the darkness, sending chills down her spine. Evelyn stares into the mirror, her hands trembling as she washes her face. Suddenly, a chilling message materializes in the dust. "Why did you let him go?" Her breath quickens, the weight of guilt pressing down as the haunted mansion seems to close in around her. Mark gazes into the spotless mirror, refusing to accept what he has seen. Behind him, Evelyn trembles, her fear growing as the silence gives way to a low, ominous rumble. At the basement entrance, the old door slowly creaks open by itself. A chilling mist rolls out, shrouding the stairs that descend into utter darkness. The air vibrates with a deep, unsettling hum and distant metallic clanking, making every step feel like a threat. A flickering light exposes the confession door in the basement. The word confess is carved deep into the wood, surrounded by desperate scratches. Low, layered whispers fill the air as terror and inevitability settle over the haunted mansion. The house itself begins to close in. Walls subtly bend inward, hallways grow tighter, and the ceiling seems to press down. Heartbeats thunder in the air as ghostly whispers become clearer, fueling a rising sense of claustrophobic panic. The family scrambles into their car, desperate to escape the haunted mansion. The engine only clicks, refusing to start. Outside, the road stretches endlessly, but every attempt to drive away brings them right back to the Leone house. Hope drains as the wind dies, leaving only the suffocating silence and the realization that escape is impossible. In the hidden depths of the mansion, a basement door opens to an impossible space. Under harsh, flickering lights, a hospital bed sits in the gloom. A child lies motionless, the silence broken only by the flat line of a hospital monitor and echoing footsteps. Grief and horror fill the air. A confession monologue echoes through the hospital room as Evelyn collapses, overcome by grief and guilt. The weight of the truth finally breaks her. Suddenly, the memory of the unplugged machine flashes before her eyes, a haunting reminder of the irreversible choice made within the haunted mansion's shadow. Mark stands frozen in shock, unable to process the confession or the supernatural events that have haunted their family. Suddenly, the machines start up again, filling the room with tense energy, as if the haunted mansion's curse is finally breaking. The boy stirs in his hospital bed, eyelids fluttering open to a world of unnatural silence. A faint smile crosses his lips as the lights above flicker violently, casting eerie shadows across the room. As the basement door opens, sunlight pours in, pushing back the lingering darkness. The ghostly whisper fades, replaced by a gentle wind. Relief washes over, but a sense of loss remains. A single whispered breath breaks the silence as the empty house stands at dawn. One upstairs window slowly darkens, leaving a lingering sense of dread. If you want, I can convert this into a shot list, write dialogue-only scenes, adjust pacing for short-form reels or trailers, add camera angles and lighting notes. Just tell me your next step.